How's it going, everybody? In today's video, I'm going to be going over the top 5 things that I learned over the last year from collecting, investing, and flipping sports cards. Looking at this list, a lot of you may know these things already, but bear in mind that I came from a collectible card game collector kind of point of view where I dealt mostly with Magic and Pokemon. So if you are coming from a similar background or if you are just getting into the hobby, this is a great video for you to watch. And if you have already been collecting or investing in sports cards, then you should probably already know these, but maybe you might pick up a thing or two from this list. The first thing I want to talk about is grading cards. This is something that the collectible card games don't really market too much. There are a couple instances, but for sports cards, grading your cards can significantly increase the value of your cards, especially if they grade really high, like a BGS 9.5 or a BGS 10 Black Label, or a PSA 9/PSA 10. These will significantly increase the value of, say, just a regular raw card, because it's already been slabbed and it's been authenticated by the authentication company. Coming from a collectible card game background, we don't really grade cards such as Magic or Pokemon. We typically will just play with the cards raw. However, if you are a collector and you want some of the higher valued cards, maybe you will dabble into the graded market. So coming from a background of collectible card games, seeing cards jump 3, 4, even 10 times the price because of the grade it has was something that I didn't understand. There was a lot of things that I needed to learn, such as what grading companies to use, what grades people want, and the value of cards can significantly increase because of the grade, as the authentication if it's been autographed, and also by the company that it's been graded by. Not to mention of how to submit cards and how much it costs. I know during last year with the pandemic, PSA got flooded because everyone was sending cards. That was something eye-opening to me because I didn't even know that you could submit cards and what the process was. But after a year of learning, I've already submitted multiple submissions to PSA, and I've done a couple of PSA reveals actually on this channel, and I continue to plan on doing submissions as they seem fit for me and my business purposes. The second thing I learned over the last year is that sports cards can fluctuate in price on a week-to-week basis and even sometimes on a day-to-day basis. Coming from a collectible background, you really don't see cards fluctuate on a week-to-week basis. You might see them fluctuate on a month-to-month basis, maybe every other week, in case there's like a breakout deck that uses a certain card that wasn't being used. But typically, once they hit a certain price point, they will typically stay there unless the card is no longer used in a deck. If another card becomes broken, then that card will surge in price. But then at that point in time, it will usually stay at that price because it's going to continue to be at that price point. However, in the sports card market, if a player gets injured or if they are traded or they're just not performing, the price card can definitely fluctuate and the market will shift depending on that player's performance. This requires sports cards investors and people who are looking to sell cards. It forces them to become very aware of how players are doing during the season from on a week-to-week basis. If a player has a really good week, it's possible that the card may surge up. But if a player has a really bad week or if they get injured, the price might plummet. This is something that I learned. And as for someone who doesn't watch sports games, this was a very important lesson for me to learn, and it made me more aware of keeping track of what happens on a week-to-week basis. The third thing that I want to talk about is sealed product. If you can get sealed product for MSRP, like at Target or like at your local retailer, it might be worth ripping or opening if you enjoy doing that. However, what I learned was that if you're paying secondary market prices, so such as like a blaster box on eBay, you're paying significantly higher price, and if you are looking to chase a certain card like a value card, it's probably not in your best interest. If you enjoy opening a sealed product for the excitement and for the experience, then it's definitely worth it. But if you're looking to open product in order as an investment opportunity, it's probably best to stay away from opening the product and just buying the cards that you want to invest in that set and just buy those singles directly. When I asked a lot of people who had a lot of experience in the sports background, That was one of the most important things that they said to me up front. Is they said, do not buy sealed product and open it. Just buy the singles and the players that you are looking for. It's just a chase and what I would consider to be low-key gambling, because some of these resale products on the secondary market can go for very expensive prices, like blaster boxes for $60, $80, even $100 to $200. And if you don't open anything good in it, you're just eating a loss. I want to make it very clear that if you enjoy ripping product and you can get it at decent prices, then I completely understand. But if you're looking in investment purposes and you're paying really high resale market prices, I wouldn't recommend opening product. The fourth thing I want to talk about is going to local card shows. As you can tell, a lot of content on my channel is about me going to card shows, and I wholeheartedly encourage everyone to go out to local shows and possibly even bigger shows like the national or any other regional or state shows. This is a great opportunity to see other cards, to see what vendors have, and to get amazing deals. Whether or not you're a collector or if you're looking to flip or resell cards, this is a great opportunity to see cards that you wouldn't normally be able to see, such as through eBay or through other auction sites. There's always something to see, and for someone like me who is a reseller, going to shows on a week-to-week basis just allows me to have a better opportunity to find more inventory to sell and getting great prices for those inventory. And it's also important to note that you'll never know what you're going to find at a show and at what deal you can get it for. The last thing I want to talk about ties into going to local shows, and that's you should be enjoying the hobby. You should be enjoying collecting sports cards. It shouldn't be an errand. It shouldn't be a chore. It shouldn't be about the bottom dollar. I understand that everybody's in it to make money because, you know, money is what drives the world. But if you are just doing it for money, you're going to get tired of it. You're not going to be able to sustain it. If you enjoy what you're doing, if you enjoy collecting, if you enjoy meeting the community, if you enjoy just talking to people about sports cards, you're just going to have a way better experience. And personally, I can tell you that when I first started out, I was going to shows just to pick up inventory. I wasn't really discussing with the vendors. I wasn't really talking to anybody. I was just very one-track mind of thinking of what I wanted to buy and buying it at really cheap prices. However, as time grew on, and as you guys can tell, I know a lot of the vendors now. I see them at a lot of the shows, and I spend a lot of time talking to them. In fact, I probably spend a lot more time talking to the vendors now than just looking at cards. And as a result, I'm able to build a relationship with vendors where I'm able to get great deals and they're able to move their products. And when I sell to them, I'm able to give them great deals and they can get other products for them to sell. So it kind of works hand in hand. It goes full circle for the hobby. Anybody can make a deal with someone else, but whether or not it's a good relationship moving forward will make all the difference for future purchases down the road, as well as people recognizing you in future shows and telling other people about you, which is super important, especially if you're going to continue to go to local card shows and go to different hobby shows. Building these relationships with not just vendors, but the community as a whole will not only help you in the short term, but will also help you in the long term, as well as help the community. So those are the 5 things that I've learned over the last year of learning about investing into sports cards. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. I hope you guys possibly learned something new today. As I continue to go to more shows and learn over the years, I'm sure I will continue to expand my knowledge of sports card investing and card selling and flipping. But let me know in the comments if there's an important thing that you guys learned that you would like to share with the community or that you would like to share with me that could possibly help me in the future. But until next time, guys, I hope you guys all stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.